We asked our audiences on Instagram what you guys want to learn from Andri Ragettli. And we got a few suggestions, didn't we?
Yeah, I got over 200 DMs on my Instagram.
Yeah, and I got like 70. And we couldn't decide really on what to do, so we're gonna make how to do
anything with Andri Ragettli on skis.
Yeah. So, what's your best advice? Learning anything on skis. Where do we begin?
My first important advice is ask yourself, what do you want to learn? What trick? Like, do you have inspiration through social media, seeing a ski movie or on Instagram? Or do you have a friend doing a cool trick?
Where do you find inspiration from?
It depends if that trick has ever been done before. But if the trick has been done before, I watch a lot of videos to see how you do that trick. That's very important. For example, my inspiration was Bobby Brown when I was younger, and he did the first ever switched up Misty. So I wanted to learn that trick as well. And I watched that video over and over again. And the first step, like every trick, you can break it down into small steps. So my first step was to learn a switch Misty 9. I did that over and over again. And my second step was to learn the double. I did that on an airbag. And as soon as I got it on the airbag, I tried it on snow. And after that, I put my own flavor on it, and I learned the switched up Misty 16, which no one is doing out there.
Yeah, that's such a sick trick. And to bring it back to reality, like for you, if you want to learn a 360, it's like the same thing. Feel like, hey, I want to do a 360. You can do 180s and 360s on the trampoline. Then on the snow, you could even start with a 90, go to 180, to 70, 360. And it's basically the same process for a beginner as it is for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, totally. Every trick, you can break it down into small steps.
Man, I love that stuff. So Andri, when they know what you want to learn, what should they do next?
First of all, I would watch the takeoff. What is he gonna do with his arms? How is he gonna rotate? Is he gonna do a Misty? Is he gonna do a cork? So, and then in the air, what is he doing? Is he doing something with the arms? When is he going for the grab? And the last thing is, like, when does he spot the landing? Where does he spot the landing? If you do a double, it's very important that you do in between the second flip and the first, that you spot the landing.
So you stay in control where you're gonna rotate then?
Yeah, that you know the whole time on the trick where you are.
All right, that's very good. So you've then watched a video of someone doing it, yes, over and over. How can they then move forwards to learn this trick?
My first step is usually try it on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first big step. So I would say, let's go on the trampoline and do some different steps to learn, for example, a dub cork 1080. And the first step would be a cork to the stomach, then a cork to the back. Then a cork to the feet. And then, as you got that trick, you can do 1.5 corks to the back and then a dub cork to the feet.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to say that it takes a long time to learn just the first step. Cork to the stomach may take an hour, and then, you know, to move into a cork 7 to your feet, that's pretty hard, and you need to know that close to perfectly before you start going for the cork to back. Would you say? Yeah, I mean, practice is the key. Just do it over and over again and it will get better. Yeah, and you'll notice first time you spin a 720 on a tramp, you'll get all this, you don't know what you see. Yeah, right? It is like this. With every trick, you don't see in the beginning. And that leads up to the next point, like spotting. How do you think about where to look? Yeah, that's a thing. You learn it as more as you do the trick, you learn it better to spot the landing. As you said, like the first few times you do a trick, you see black in the air. Yeah. So, but if you do it more and more, you can spot landing in the air. So on the double cork, when do you spot it? So you do the cork 7, and then you go into the second flip, and then I spot the landing before I go into the second flip, and I see how much more time I have to do the second flip, and that's where I spot the landing. Good. And when you know the double cork, what does that lead on to?
onto a triple cork, and then it's exactly the same step like a double cork. You just do, yeah, one flip more. I mean, it's hard, but you do 2 flips, spot the landing into the third one, and then do the triple cork.
Yeah.
It's with every trick.
And if you ride backwards into the jump?
Yeah, you can do the same with the switched up Misty. It's like the same rotation as a double cork 10 onto the trampoline, and you spot the landing as well onto when you do a double backflip, double Misty, whatever, you spot the landing between first and second flip. And it's really important that you do that, because then you see how much more time you have left in the air.
Sweet, man. That was good.
And don't forget, guys, no matter what trick you want to learn, break it into small steps, like we did.
And once you get down on tram, you need to get them skis on and try it on an airbag.
There are 2 different types of airbags. There's the flat airbag, and there's the one with the landing. I prefer the one with the landing for bigger tricks, but if you want to learn like a 360 or a backflip, the flat airbag is fine. I did that back in the days as well.
Yeah, it works great, but you can't throw double corks on them. On the airbag, do you have any tips for people to stay safe?
Yeah, you should never ski out on the airbag. You should always slip on your side, and also maybe cover your head a little bit, because it can hurt still on the airbag.
You got this new dream trick down on the airbag and you want to bring it to the snow. How do you know when it's the right time to do it?
First of all, you have to warm up, do your basic tricks, and don't rush. But it's very important that you are, I would say, 80% confident that you will land on your feet.
Yeah.
Because I never do a trick I'm not sure I can do it. I always know I'm gonna land it.
Yeah, do you ever like listen to your body? Like the feeling inside?
I do, yeah. Sometimes my feeling says no, and then I'm not gonna do it because I don't feel in the mood. But if I have that feeling and it's a nice day, no wind, why not?
Yeah, I remember when I was learning both double backflips and double cork, I was really scared at first. But then after practicing the tricks leading up to it, like I was overcorking 7s and doing small backflips, etc. I remember how the fear just went away, and I felt just this excitement within, like I got this. It's such a sick feeling.
It is. I love the feeling of trying a new trick, and yeah, it's not fear, it's excitement.
Before you drop in, like what's going on in your mind?
I always visualize the trick before I do it. In my head, I have to know how the trick works in my head. That's a key point to land the trick as well.
Do you do the trick like in slow motion in your mind?
Yeah, it's kind of slow motion. I just visualize how it would feel, where I'm gonna go into the flip, into the cork, how I spot the landing, how I'm gonna land it. I'm gonna do that everything in my mind.
Nice. Do you ever have your first attempts filmed?
Yeah, mostly my coach films my first attempts, and in the evening we analyze that trick and look what I did good and what went wrong, and then I try to make it better the next day.
What are things you look for when doing the video analysis?
For example, I just learned a new trick, right side top cork 12 reverse mute, and I couldn't get the grab in the beginning, and I thought about why is this? So I found out that I have to go really early to the grab, like I set the rotation and then go straight to the grab, and then I can get it. So I'm looking for these kind of things.
All right. So always have yourself get filmed, because also if you crash and hurt yourself, like if you get a film, at least you know what went wrong and you can do it better next time on the airbag or on snow again.
So if you are dropping in and you decided to do the trick, go for it and don't doubt yourself. What I learned from my coach back in the days when I was younger is to never open up in a trick. If I'm gonna set a double cork, I'm gonna do it, because if you open up, that's the point where it gets worse.
I believe you.
It is.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
This was sick. Was it fun being in a tutorial?
Yeah, it was so much fun, and maybe we'll have a second time.
Yeah, write a comment below and maybe we'll do a second collaboration. We live in the same village after all. And check out Andri's channel down here and you can follow his adventures. Where are you going next?
To France, there's the next slopestyle World Cup.
Dude, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.